Well, hello you, and welcome to a very wet Walk and Wanders. Thank you for joining me today. It's really good to see you, and come and join me on this walk.
A reminder to be a little bit better care of yourself. It's worth it. You can have this feeling anytime you choose.
So today I'm doing a walk in my hometown of Stowmarket in Suffolk in the UK. I'm going to start by walking out of town down Fimber Road, and then round about here we will come to a milestone which has been there since the 1700s, possibly the 1600s. We'll have a look at that, tell you something about that. And then we'll carry on a little bit further. We'll cut through a hole in the hedge here on a public footpath, cross these fields up to the top of the hill and turn right onto Union Road. Here we'll come up to the old Stowmarket Workhouse, and I'll tell you something about that. And then we will walk down the footpath here, down the side of the sports field, across the footpath at the side of the farmer's field, and this bunch of trees here, this is where they buried the bodies of people who died in the workhouse. So let's go and have a look. So here it is, the first bit of secret history on this walk. This is a milestone, and it's so weather-beaten and hidden and overgrown. Most people would just walk past it, but it is an old milestone. You can see a bit of writing there. So this is where we are on the map here. We're where the edge of these houses are. We're just a little way from this footpath that we're going to go up. We're just here. On these modern maps, they don't really give any indication of milestones, but if we fade in the 1900 map, so here we are, this is where we are, you can see the letters MS for milestone, and it even tells you to the distances that were on the milestone. Ipswich 13 miles, Stowmarket 1 mile. So that's what would have been on this milestone. It's just very weather-beaten, so you can't see it anymore. So there was a milestone in the middle of Stowmarket. You can see it here in the middle of town, and I reckon we can work out exactly where this was. But apparently this was just removed and smashed up when they were building the new shops on that side of the road. But I reckon that photo is taken roughly from this position. You can see the Fox Hotel, or Fox Yard, which was the Fox Hotel, in the same place. So I reckon that milestone was somewhere around here, in front of the taxi office or the Co-op funeral care shop. You'll also find a milestone on the old road that leads to the Cedars Hotel, near the old ICI building. And if you nip to Needham Market, near the Lion Inn at the other end of Needham Market, you will find a milestone mentioning Stowmarket. So we carry on our walk, and the entrance to the footpath across the field, another thing that you would hardly notice, is just opposite these houses here. So apparently after the Romans left, nobody was responsible for the roads in Britain until 1555, when an Act of Parliament made parishes responsible for roads. However, that didn't really work, so in 1663 another Act of Parliament was passed, the Turnpike Act, where people would be charged to travel on the roads, and there'd be turnpikes or gates at certain places along the way. The first turnpike in Stowmarket, in this area, in Suffolk, was in 1711. In 1766, milestones, like the ones we've just seen, became mandatory, and they were the old road signs back in the 1700s. During the war, Churchill said that all the milestones must be covered up or removed or disguised to prevent the enemy from finding their way around should they invade. Ipswich still has 7 out of 7 of its milestones, and Lowestoft has none. So it's a very mixed bag, as it is here in Stowmarket. In 1781, a house of industry, or workhouse, had been erected at one house near Stowmarket at a cost of £1,200. The workhouse was taken over by the new Stow Poor Law Union, which came into existence on the 24th of October 1835. The nearby road, Union Road, is probably named after this event. Initially, the workhouse relieved the deprivation in the area at a time before the welfare state, but it became a feared, brutal place where families were separated, men from women and children from parents. At the discretion of the workhouse supervisors, a parent was allowed to visit a child for 1 hour a week at most. The census from the time shows that the inmates were small children, the elderly, and people with various disabilities who couldn't provide for themselves. The inmates worked long hours every day with very little relief, and it was a grim place to live. is obviously such a sad place, and yet somehow it's very peaceful here. When the people of the workhouse died, many of them died from smallpox. They were sewn into their sheet and no coffin, just brought here and put in a shallow grave. And they didn't put a marker with a name on, they just put a little wooden cross with a metal number plate on. And the metal number plates have been found when the area has been cleared, and you can see some of them here. And then after 100, when they run out of metal plates, they just used to paint a number on the cross, but none of those survive to this day. What is different today is there's 3 new crosses, and I did read that some of the remains had been disturbed, dug up, I don't know, by dogs or people. But I wonder if these 3 new crosses are where they've buried the remains that were dug up. If you know what they are, leave a comment in the comment section below.